My view of the art of war was that it was an unapproachable, aggressive view of leadership, that its age would make it completely irrelevant today. How I was wrong. And this is the reason that the art of war should be on every leader's bookshelf.
Just lead.
My history with the art of war goes back to when I was in Navy cadets as a teenager. We were introduced to the concepts of the art of war, and it was often misquoted to us. In my mind, it was built up to be some massive manual on how to do battle. In my brain, I put it alongside chess as something that was going to take a fair energy to be able to learn. It wasn't until much later in life, where I was seeking to improve myself and my leadership attributes, that I actually sought out the art of war and bought this cheap copy online. And then I realised exactly what the art of war was all about. And this is what rocked up: a 100-page book of poetry. Not what I expected at all. Sun Tzu was a Chinese general and philosopher from circa 500 BC. He is obviously most known for his work, The Art of War. This seminal work was written in the time leading up to the Warring States period, during the decline of the Zhou dynasty. During this period, Chinese warfare followed strict traditional protocols in all aspects of war. And what this meant was that no faction was able to gain advantage over any other faction. They were all in stalemates because of these protocols. The Art of War was written in response to this, in which Sun Tzu lays out a way to win in any situation. The Art of War found its way into the spotlight when the king of the Qin state used its philosophies to wage total war on the other states of China and establish the Qin dynasty. And then throughout China's history, the book continued to be used by generals and kings to wage war on each other. But it didn't make its way to the Western world for many, many centuries. The Viet Cong during the Vietnam War were very well versed in the art of war, and were often heard quoting lines directly from the book. When the US suffered defeat in the Vietnam War, they took interest in the book and wondered about its philosophies and what it could bring to US military strategy. And from there, the art of war began its life of prominence on the bookshelves of military personnel outside of Asia. And as the art of war began to find its way further into the lexicon of the Western language, businesses and strategists started picking up the art of war as a tool chest of things to use to become better in business and win out from their opponents. Beyond military and business strategy, the art of war provides great insight into becoming a better leader for your people. Let me share a few passages in which we can take some advice from Sun Tzu's wisdom. Master Sun said, "In war, better take a state intact than destroy it." Consider this when taking on a new role as a leader into a new department. Sit back and take time to understand what is going on with the department and where its weaknesses and strengths lie. If you come in as a wrecking ball, you chance your hand at destroying any good favour that you had with the team. You risk destroying any good practices that they already had in place. And you risk not getting or delaying the respect of your team. So take that team intact. Don't destroy it. Ignorant interference in military decisions confuses officers and men. When you're the leader of a department, you will feel that because your role is leader, you should be making all the decisions for the team, or at least have your hand in all the decisions that are being made, when this is not true at all. If you feel the need to weigh in because of your title, you risk making a fool of yourself, or worse, confusing your team, so that they don't actually understand what your role is in the department. Park your ego at the door. Ensure that decisions are being made at the right level of the business. You don't need to be involved in every decision that gets made, because ignorant interference can confuse your team. Okay, I'm going to take a break in my production schedule right here just to let you know that I do have a Patreon community that you can join and be a part of, but it doesn't have to come at huge cost to you. For just half the price of a beer at Australia's exorbitant rates, you can become a part of the Just Lead community. Click that link down below and become a patron today. Enough of that, let's get back to the video. Ignorant meddling in military appointments perplexes officers and men. Just one word: nepotism. How often do you see someone getting employed over others that are more qualified just because of the people they know? Ignore this wisdom from Master Sun and you will lose the respect of your team. And when you lose the respect of your team, you will lose the ability to lead effectively. Don't fall into this trap. Employ your people based on their merits. The skillful warrior exploits the potential energy. He does not hold his men responsible. He deploys his men to their best, but relies on the potential energy. As a leader, you should be positioning your people in such a way to get the best possible outcomes for your team. Use the skills at their disposal to ensure that you deploy them in such a way that maximizes their output. Consider their skills as their potential energy, like a bowstring drawn ready to deploy an arrow. Further to this, Master Sun has made it clear that the responsibility of the mistakes made by your team falls to you as the leader. You are the one responsible. Take ownership of their decisions. Do not hold your team responsible. Hold yourself responsible and make sure that you deploy your team in the best way possible that fills their skill sets. Be rushing as wind. Be stately as a forest. Be ravaging as a fire. Be still as a mountain. Be inscrutable as night. Be swift as thunder or lightning. In this passage lies the dichotomies of leadership. You need to be everything to everyone. You need to be considering and thoughtful, but you also need to be able to act swiftly. A leader that fails to act swiftly is doomed to failure. Think about businesses that have failed to adapt to market changes quickly enough. There's a reason why none of us have Nokia phones anymore. Be passionate in your delivery of initiatives, but become resolute when times are tough. Be ravaging as fire, but still as a mountain. This is just the beginning. There is so much wisdom to be had in this book, and we've barely scratched the surface in this video. So let me know, leave a comment down below if you want me to break down more of what Master Sun has to say in his book, The Art of War. And books like this can be tools in your toolkit when it comes to making better decisions. See what I mean by clicking this link here.